had one kid say, "You're famous." And I said, "Oh, I'm not at all famous compared to Michael Jackson." And the kid said, "Not that kind of famous, art famous." I found that kind of fascinating. I'm William Wegman, and most people know me as the dog photographer. I've been working with Weimaraners for over 45 years. If I had a better voice, I'd compose a song about all of the dogs I've had. First there was Man Ray, and then came Fay Ray, but I won't burden you with that. Now I have two dogs, Flo and her brother Topper, and they're really, hello Flo, they're pretty amazing together. In my photographs, what I like people to see is that yes, there's a dog, and yes, it's a Weimaraner, but what has it become? The dogs are always in a state of becoming something. They become characters, objects. When they're lying down, they're becoming landscapes. They let you do it. It's something special, it's something unique. It happens only when we go to the studio and there's an arena established for this activity. I live in Chelsea area of New York. I have this really great studio. I have tons of props stored in the basement. I'm gonna need to go down and get those vests. Ball gowns and ugly stepsister outfits, doodads and crazy hats and wigs and all kinds of things. I'm seeing something on the floor. Oh, I gotta use that. We'll put that on the dog's head. Some people are alarmed when they see human hands attached to the arms. I like that because it's almost like mythology, you know, an Egyptian god with a bird head and human hands. Well, we really only need that, so just try that. I really need that energy of the lights, the camera, the focus. Good girl. Stay. My work sort of jumped out of the art world into everybody's world. I've seen my work appear on a whole array of things. Children's books, videos for Sesame Street, films, all kinds of things. There was a time when felt like I was nailed to the dog cross. I wanted to escape that. Now I'm kind of comfortable with that, and I feel really lucky to have this. I think these might be my last two dogs. I'm in my 70s, and I'll be in my 80s. When they're gone, do I really want to burden my family with other dogs? I don't know, it's up to them. When I'm 95 and they want another dog, okay, I'll get one. Go for a walk? Good girl. Come on, stay.
When he goes out and actually deploys to chase something, it looks like a missile launch. I just open up the back door and he jumps out. It's a lot of fun. Piper is the only dog working at this airport, and there's actually only a handful of dogs working at airports around the country. It's a pretty rare thing. I'm Brian Edwards. Piper and I work at the Cherry Capital Airport in Traverse City, Michigan. Piper is a border collie. Piper's prime function here is wildlife control. Primarily, Piper is going to be chasing away large waterfowl like ducks and geese. In the wintertime, it actually chases away the snowy owl. And then in the summertime, it's basically seagulls and crows. Birds can cause a lot of different types of damage. Most bird strikes are with smaller types of birds that might just cause dents. But if the bird is large enough and is ingested into an engine, that can cause a serious failure like the Miracle on the Hudson. Training specifically for us took about a year and a half. So the way that we've trained is that anytime I deploy Piper out of the truck, he doesn't just run away from the truck, he always runs the direction we were traveling. A lot of times I deploy him when the vehicle is moving. So that's just the way that we train that. A lot of times I try to get him to see what it is he's going to chase first. The goggles or the rec specs serve two purposes for him. One, they're UV protectant, so they protect his eyes. And number two, they're safety goggles, basically. It's one of those things that if he wants to go out and work or have fun, then he's got to wear it.
Yes, good vibe. Yeah, good boy. Go get him, buddy. Go get him.
Dogs are really useful for wildlife control because, specifically border collies, it's in their blood. Eventually the goal is to train the birds and other animals that they don't want to be here because there's a predator in town, something that's going to keep harassing them all the time. Piper's been with me at the airport for almost 3 years. He's pretty much with me all the time. I don't think Piper sees it as work. I think it's all play to him, which is what we want, right? The best thing personally with Piper, and it's been this way before we started working, he's got a mind of his own. I talk to him like I would talk to anybody else. He's my bro. Does it get any better than that? I get to work with my best friend every day. I'm extremely proud of him. I couldn't ask for anything more.
Blakely has the most difficult job at the Cincinnati Zoo. He has to play with babies all the time. He's never shown any aggression or snapped. If he gets upset, kind of like any mom would, he just leaves the room.
You are so cute.
My name is Dawn Strasser, and we're at the Cincinnati Zoo in Botanical Gardens. Blakely is a 5-year-old Australian Shepherd. We got him from a rescue, and I use him in a nursery as a nanny or a companion dog.
This is about you when you're taking a nap.
Blakely's here for the main purpose of teaching the babies the correct animal cues as they grow up, so when they are introduced back to their own kind, they know what appropriate behavior is. He teaches them how to play and how to interact. I can tell them, no, don't bite me, but I'm not an animal, and I don't give the same cues that he can. So we make a great team.
Smile for the camera. Yeah, smile for the camera.
Blakely has worked with cheetahs, ocelots, a toucan, fat-eared foxes, a warthog, wallabies, to name a few. He's working with 4 baby cheetahs right now. It's been a long 7 weeks for him with these little cheetah cubs, and he's, I think, tired because he's on alert for 24 hours a day. If they start making too much noise, he'll come and get us like, something's not right, something's not right. He's kind of like a second set of eyes for us too. A lot of times they still recognize each other, like Dale the toucan he raised. When they see each other, Dale will still run up in front and grunt at him, and he'll kind of jump up on the wall, and it's kind of like, hey, how you doing?
He's beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, I like to think I have an office, but I'm pretty sure it's his.
One core trait in every dog is its ever-forgiving nature. That's probably the most valuable thing in a dog, and it's also its biggest pitfall, because we have dogs here who've been horribly hurt by human beings, and yet all they want to do is find somebody else to love.
Around the world, strays, mutts, and street dogs are victims of stigma. In Costa Rica, Leah Battle is trying to change that story. She runs the Territorio de Zaguates. It's a lush haven for stray dogs to either be adopted or to live out the rest of their days.
Territorio de Zaguates stands for Land of the Mutts. My name's Leah Battle, better known as Crazy Dog Lady, I guess. I started Territorio de Zaguates partly because I've always loved animals, all animals. But it wasn't in my plans. It wasn't like I set out to do this. The need for this, I think all over the world, is because there's a huge stigma around a dog that doesn't have a breed. They'll let mutts wander on the streets, or they'll actually toss them on the streets because they're not breed dogs. The solution isn't euthanizing a dog. The solution is make sure it's not born in the first place. Once it's here, do something good for it. Find a home, or if not, at least offer him a place where he can be in peace and happy.
Keeping Territorio up and running is no easy feat. They eat $500 a day in food alone. Leah has to work a full-time job to keep all the dogs fed and healthy.
Territorio stays about partly through miracles, I think. Keeping this afloat is a huge task. It's a labor of love. You can't pay someone to care for an animal truly, to remember their names, to be gentle to them.
While this place is a dog heaven, nothing beats getting adopted by a loving family.
I'd say it's like kids at kindergarten. They love their friends at school, but oh, they all want to go home to mom and dad.